Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today I have here a beautiful Angraecum for you. This is a seedling. It's very tiny one, but I'm going to show you another one that I have. That's my beautiful Leonis. I decided to bring the topic of Angraecum for you because I've never spoken deeply about them. And I will tell you what I learned while growing my Angraecum Leonis and the other Angraecum that I had before, and also explore a little bit about them. It's just some research that I've done, but I'm not the most experienced grower. I'm telling you what I learned while growing them inside my flat in London. I don't have a large collection of Angraecum either, but I do find that they are beautiful houseplants and beautiful for your orchid collection. So let's dive in and talk a little bit about these beauties, shall we? So, have you ever heard of a star-shaped orchid that has like a long tail and is often referred as star-shaped orchids, star orchid, or even comet orchid? There is a reason for that, and these are definitely the Angraecum orchids. They have been described a long time ago. It's one of the first discovered type of genre of orchids. Because if you don't know, the famous scientist that talks about evolution and travel around the world, collecting species and studying them, Darwin, he talked about a Madagascar, sorry, type of orchid that is the beautiful Sesquipedale Angraecum that some people call the Darwin orchid. This is a massive Angraecum that is this comet type of flower. So, for this reason, these orchids have been described a long time ago, and there are other orchids that were all placed inside the Angraecum group, but they are not considered Angraecum anymore. Why they look like a comet? Why they have this star-shaped with this long type of lip or spur? So the pollen of these plants can only be found at the end of this massive tube, this spur where the lip is. So many years later, after they discovered the flower, they discovered the moth that has this big, long, I'm not going to find the right name now, but like a big, long protuberance or like a lip that could go inside the flower and pollinate the flower. That's why they look like comet. There is a reason for that. And moths usually pollinate these flowers during nighttime. That's why most of them are fragrant during nighttime. So more than that, what else do you know about Angraecums? Angraecums are monopodial orchids like Vandas and Phalaenopsis, which means that they will not grow many pseudables. They will grow one leaf after another leaf. Maybe they will push out a cake. I've never seen them pushing out cakes in my collection. I don't have very tall Angraecums either, so this one is a baby. And the other one that I have for a long time, it just grows slowly. So if you expect to have a massive plant, that's not going to happen from one day to another. This is the type of orchids that you have to buy them as mature plants or have the patience to wait for them to grow. But if you think about the positive side of that, is that they grow slowly, so they will not take up a lot of space while they're growing. And I think one of the advantages of some Angraecums, like the Leonis that I have in my collection, is the leaves. They are a little bit different from other monopodias. So the Leonis, for example, mine is a little bit distorted because it got stressed or placed inside a high humidity chamber inside a glass that kept the leaves together. So instead of looking like a beautiful palm tree, they are a little bit weird. But now the new leaves are going to grow nicely. And then I'm going to have a nicer type of orchid. But if you're looking for orchids with a different pattern of growths like the Leonid, and you can show the foliage, and it's a little bit different from Vandas and orchids like Phalaenopsis, definitely you can look out for some Angraecum because they do have some really nice leaves. I've never seen mine in bloom yet. I don't think they bloom so soon. You need to have the patience to wait for them to grow. But if you do, they will reward you. Talking about care, some monopodia, they are epiphytes as well. So they will grow on top of trees and tree trunks. Inside my home, how I grow them, These one haven't been potted yet, but talking about my Leonis and the Ciskipedali that I had, both of them are potted with bark and sphagnum moss, and they do well. The only disadvantage with Angraecum, and if I can give you some tip, at least in my experiences, the roots are very sensitive. So from the moment that we repot them, if they go into a bit of shock, it will take them a while to bounce back. So you need to have the patience to adapt them to your environment. So with my Leonis, that's the oldest one that I have. It went into a shock, lost lots of roots. So what I have to do, I put inside this chamber. From the moment that it started pushing out lots of roots and got very strong, start doing amazingly well, I pot it back up. And after that, it just flourished. Start to pushing more and more roots, and it's doing super well inside its pot. I only water them when I notice that the pot's getting dry. So that's the moment that I offer them some water. But the routine is very similar to most of my Phalaenopsis. In terms of light, I just offer some growing lights. So that's how both of them are growing at the moment. The only reason why I lost my Ciskipedali is because it got attacked by thrips before, and it was a very young plant. So like vandas and all type of monopodial orchids, we have to be careful when they're very, very tiny, because there is a greater chance that they might not survive. That's what happened with that one. But what I want to show you with these videos is, if you want to grow your collection and have one orchid that is a little bit different from most of the ones that you have, maybe it would be a good idea to try on Angraecum, and then you might find some with exquisite type of growths or leaves that are a little bit different from other monopodials that we have while we wait them to bloom. I am sure when I see their first blooms, I will be in love, because it's nice to have exotic plants around, and because they are among us for a long, long time, they are not taken from the wild. So look for them in some orchid nursery. I'm sure you won't regret. And I hope you have beautiful Angraecums as well. Let me know if you grow an Angraecum, what is your experience, and which one is your favorite orchid. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment down below and subscribe to my channel. It helps me a lot, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye!